from Super Easy Forex. Welcome to my little office. Sorry about the light bouncing around. So got the sunlight back there. I was looking at the lake. So anyway, welcome to my office. For those who were used to seeing me in the other environment, this is my new office. I got the window open right there because, again, if it wasn't shiny, you'd be able to see the lake right there. So it's a nice, peaceful work environment. Anyway, let's move forward. Here's what you're here for. You want to know how in the heck do you get 12,000 pips in a week, and also what news events is coming up for this coming week that is going to affect your trading. Let me kind of move this camera because I see the light is bouncing a bit. Let me see the best way to play it. Okay, right there. I think it's great. All right, so the best thing to do, let's start with how to collect that many pips in a week, because some people think it's unreal, but we kind of covered this in class on last week. For those who are my simplicity students, we covered how pip counts are different depending on whether you're trading crypto, whether you're trading the indices, or whether you're trading the Forex currency pairs. So we kind of covered how the pip count is completely different on each one, okay? However, the only thing you need to know is, yes, it's very possible because the number of pips, that the way they count them in the indice market is much bigger because the profit margins are way bigger. So to make 12,000 pips in a week is just stupid, dumb, ridiculous money that was that could have been made for those who are in the Signals group. And again, I will encourage every single one of you guys, if you're not in the Signals group, please make sure to do so. You'll benefit from it. Number one, you'll benefit from learning. Number two, you'll benefit from seeing how professional traders deal with the markets, especially during turbulent times. You think that sometimes you're the only one who will take a loss. No, you begin to realize that professionals take losses too, but we just keep it moving. Although, you know, the week that we did as far as the signal side, meaning signal sent out, we had 10 and 6, and that's because it was news event week. NFP week is always one of the most terrible weeks to ever trade. Also, if the Fed has Fed interest rate news coming up, that is one of the worst weeks to ever trade. So if you ever traded and you go back and look at your trading schedule and say, hey, you know, what was the trouble? You'll find out that if you were trading during NFP week, or if you were trading during a Fed interest rate news announcement week, that is one of the absolute worst times to trade, because the market is always going to be extremely choppy up until the news event. Then when the news event comes out, it's going to be very spiky, and then the market settles out, and then everything resumes to be calm. And that doesn't matter whether you're trading in the Forex market, whether you're trading in the indices, whether you're trading stocks or bonds, it's always going to be the same thing. Oh, wow, we got somebody all the way from Panama. We got somebody from Singapore in the house. All right, hey, hi, you guys. Welcome to Super Easy. So here's the deal. So we did over 12,000 pips in Miss Jenny's group, in the scalping group. So they did 12,000 pips scalping, just flat out, just crazy good results. 62,000 pips is what the total is for the year to date. In the scalping group under Ms. Jenny's leadership, they've done over 62,000 pips. I don't remember our exact count for the signal side, but we're doing it phenomenally well. We had these last 2 weeks been very turbulent. Nothing you can do about that, like I said, but we've been killing the markets. Mr. Elvis is doing a wonderful job sending out signals. I send out some signals, and so we're doing great in that area, okay? So just want to let you know about that service. If you're just tired of trading, don't have time to trade or whatever, and you want to make some money, that's the best way to do it. What I do like about our service is because it's not just signals. We offer signals plus scalping. And the difference is that in the scalping group, you're live so that you can actually be under the tutelage of a 6 to 7. I don't ask Ms. Jenny how much money she has on her pot. I just know she has, you know, she's doing very well for herself, but I know she's a 6 to 7 figure earner. And so you're under the leadership of somebody who actually is doing the job. You understand what I'm saying? So you're being coached, tutored, and you're live in there with her. You can talk with her. You can do all those kind of things in addition to the signals, okay? And thank you. Somebody said one of the best signal groups out there. Thank you very much. See, I got to brag, because here's the deal. I told you guys, and I keep telling you, I am trying to relax. And I'm going to say this and move on to the news bits. I'm trying to relax and enjoy life with my wife, okay? Because as soon as I'm done with you guys on this video, I'm heading right out the door. Tomorrow I'm taking her on a ship, and it's going to take us to a private island where we're just going to hang out at the beach for a couple hours and then come back and, you know, I'm trying to enjoy life. I don't want to be on the charts all the time. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So the signal service is just as vital to me as it is to you, because I do get involved with the same things that you guys are getting. And I keep telling you guys that if you have not been profitable in God knows how long, then you might want to try just outsource it. You know, that's what I do. I outsource. I have an SEO guy. I have a person who does my thumbnails. I have a husband and wife who does my thumbnails. I was talking with my accountant. I have a bookkeeper. I can do all these things, but I don't want to. I outsource the work. Because why do all this time and investment just to end up depressed at the end of the week, which is where some of you guys really are. If you were really being transparent, that's exactly where you are. Every week you end up being depressed because you put in so much time, so much effort, so much this, so much that, and you're still not profitable. Outsource the work. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay, but that's up to you. So I'm just saying the service is available there. Now let's move over into the news event for this coming week. This coming week, you guys, now listen. For those who've been tuning in, since I changed the format from just talking about signals, results, and combining it into news events, I have literally saved a lot of people a lot of money because you normally never pay attention to news events. Number two, nobody ever talks about which ones to pay attention to, which ones to avoid, and which ones are not. So a lot of you guys have not been aware that this is part of the reason why your trades are being under attack, because I didn't know that news during the NFP week would make the market so turbulent. I didn't know that news events when the Fed or interest rates are coming up or Fed Chairman Powell is talking is going to cause the market to be so turbulent. Nobody ever explained that. All they told me was look for support and resistance levels, looking for supply and demand zones, looking for trend line. And see, they teach you the basics, but not a step further in your knowledge. And this is why you're losing. So me doing these videos on Sunday has helped a lot of people already who's been tuning in and realizing, oh, I didn't know. Because sometimes you've been taking trades literally right before a news event. The thing spikes all over the place. You go back to the drawing board thinking that it was something wrong with your strategy, and it had nothing to do with your strategy. It was the fact that you were unaware of news events that could have attacked your trade, and they did, and you thought it was your fault. But it wasn't. You just were missing information. The truth of the matter is all professional traders are aware of news events before they place the trade. But most novice or retail traders or beginners are not made aware of this information. So your trades are under attack a lot more than the professional trader. Even if I take trades during news events, sometimes I will know in advance, okay, I know what news events. For an example, let me give you a good example, and then we're going to go through the list. I told my students, and I know thousands are going to watch this later, I told my students in class, I said, one of the things I like to do, and I told you guys to do it, I said, never take a trade if you're not a professional before a news event. I said, wait until at least 20, 30 minutes afterwards, maybe an hour later, let the market settle. And then if you still see that same setup you saw before the news event, take the trade, because now the market is calm and it really is what it is. But if you take the trade before the news event, the thing can blow up based on what the news event is. You understand what I'm saying? I literally said that in class, and I record my classes so nobody can say I'm making this stuff up. I record every class I take that I do with my students so that they can watch it in case you can't attend, because some people are at work, or like you guys clearly see, some people are here already. Even with the few people we have on now, you see some people are from Singapore, from Japan, from China, other places. So they're asleep when I'm doing classes, so I record them. But they have access to the same information, and I told everybody, wait. Now, if you look at the video I posted on Friday on the USD Swiss, I didn't have time to get my thumbnail people to make a cute thumbnail, but go look at that trade. Look at the time I took it, and you will see it was literally after the NFP news event. And I waited until the market settled out, saw that setup, took it for a quick 40 pips, and voila, it was beautiful and it was done. And this is the chart right here. This is the chart of the USD Swiss, and I literally took that trade right after the news event. So for those who are trading, but you don't think news events are important, I can't tell you enough, you're being foolish. And so every Sunday, make sure you tune in to my news events. And I'm not the best at it, but I'm just trying to give you the best that I can, because I know which ones I'm paying attention to. In addition to that, for those who sign up for the Simplicity service, in your tutorial steps, we actually have a printout for you of news events to pay attention to before you take a trade. And they're listed out what they mean and so forth. So for those who are just tuning in, let me go through the list and we'll be done. Here you go. Get your pins up, right. Whenever you come to watch one of my videos, you should never watch one of my videos without have something to write, because I always try to give you information that is proficient for your trading to help you. But if you're just listening just to check me out and say, well, I'm just trying to see if he's a scammer or not, okay, that's cool, that's fine, you can do that. But you're literally missing out on the information that I'm giving that's going to help you this coming week. That's why I try to do these videos on Sunday before the market opens, so that you'll have equipped information, so that you, when you're placing trades during the coming week, you can say, hey, that brother warned me. I've been warning for the last couple of weeks. Hey, here's the news events. Here's the news events. And just as I've been telling you, they have been playing out prophetically. And I'm not a prophet, I'm just Uncle P, but literally because I'm taking the time to look at the ones that are, hey, this is coming up, I need to kind of hold off on trading around that time. That will save you from a bunch of losses. And that's the best way to increase your winning percentage, is by reducing your loss percentage. Are you with me? So here we go. Pins up, pins up, pins up. Let me adjust this camera. I'm still seeing light beaming. Okay. All right. All right. So I got my little sticky note. Here we go. Number one. Okay. On Tuesday, write this down. On Tuesday, the AUD, the Australian dollar, they have their interest rate news coming out. Now, I have taught many times on interest rates. I told you guys, it's not going to be earth-shattering for all currency pairs, okay? Because you can't trade, you can't bring an Australian dollar to the US and spend it. So technically, if you're trading the USD versus the JPY, you're fine, okay? Because who cares what the AUD is doing? It's just, if you're going to trade the AUD, which is one of my favorite pairs to trade, I really love the Australian dollar, the NZDs. I like those because they move with a little more consistency versus some of these wild pairs, you know, that just jumps all over the place all the time. So those are some of my favorite pairs to trade, is the NZDs and the AUDs. Okay, I love those pairs. All right, but anyway, for me, I'm going to be paying attention to possibly staying out of trades around coming up on Tuesday, because the AUD is going to come out with their interest rates. Now, what's going to happen during the interest, if you're brand new, write this down. If interest rates get raised, the currency will go up. Write this down. If they raise interest rates, the currency will go up. So if you're trading like the AUD versus the JPY, if the announcement comes out that they're going to raise interest rates in the future, the AUD is going to shoot up really quick, and you can make group profits. But do you know what they're going to say beforehand? No. So it's never good to take a trade before the announcement, because you don't know what's going to be said. But I'm just letting you know, if you're seeing it constantly moving up, then you pretty much know what just happened. If they say that the interest rates are going to stay exactly the same, it'll probably have some spike in a bit, but then it'll level out and just stay right there. Okay. If they say they're going to lower interest rates, which means they're devaluing that currency by lowering the interest on it, then you'll see that currency drop. Do you understand? If they raise interest rates, they're raising value on the currency. The value of the currency goes up. It goes up on the charts. If they say they're going to lower interest rates, it lowers the value of the currency, and it will go dropping on your charts. Or you understand? It's just that simple. Lower interest rates, currency drops. Higher interest rates, currency shoots up. That simple. Now, nobody ever taught you that. Now you know. Okay? That's the way it works. Now, so be careful on Tuesday if you're in a pair like GBP AUD, AUD CAD, anything with the AUD, and sometimes, depending on the news, it can affect the NZD as well. So just be careful around Tuesday, around that time. And where do I get my information from? Go to myfxbook.com and just download the app, and I just literally look on their app for economic news. There's plenty other ones out there like FX Hours, and Forex Factory. There's plenty of them where you can get news events from. So that's not the only one, but that's the one that's efficient for me. I go to the app on Sunday. I click on this week because they have options. Do you want to see last week's, today's news, tomorrow's news, or this whole week? And then when I click on this week, it pulls up the entire calendar for the entire week. So now I'm fully aware before the market even opens exactly what I need to be aware of. So that's why I do it on Sundays for myself and also for you. Next, number 2, the US dollar. The US dollar, they're coming out with their manufacturing numbers on Tuesday. It's not, in my opinion, depending on how bad or good it is, it could move the market, but if it's just, kind of okay, then it'll be fine. It'll be like kind of like what NFP did on Friday. Like you guys, I warned you about NFP. You've seen the market was shaky all the way up to NFP. Then when NFP came out, and I didn't even check, but I just looked at my charts and I said, oh, you know what? It must not have been that big a deal, because the charts will even, to price action, will even tell me what the news was. If there's a huge spike, that means, oh, them job numbers were ridiculous, one way or the other. But it was just a quick blip, took out a whole bunch of people's stop losses, the market resumed, and that's why that trade that you can literally see on that I posted on Friday, that's the one I took. It did a little blip, jumped in after the news event, and rolled it down for about 40 pips on USD Swiss. Take a look at that video on Sunday. Let's go to the next one. CAD is coming out with their interest rates on Tuesday as well. Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm sorry, I didn't write the date next to it. I apologize for that. But I know CAD is coming out on Tuesday or Wednesday with their interest rates, so be aware of that. The Euro is coming out with their interest rates on Thursday. Fed, now here's the 2 important things you need to know. Ding, 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 pay attention. Fed Chairman Powell is going to be talking on Thursday. Now, this does not mean he's going to technically, now, somebody said CAD isn't expected to do anything. Yes, that's correct. They may not do anything, but just to be aware. Whoever said that, do you know exactly what date? Is it on Wednesday or Thursday? I forgot to write it down here, and I'm actually on my phone talking to y'all, so I can't stop and look. But if you can tell me what day, so I can make sure everybody's aware. Let me know about that, okay? But Fed Chairman Powell is going to be talking on Thursday. Now, here's why this is important. It's not technically a news event, but it is because everybody's ear is to the ground trying to find out whether this dude going to raise the interest rates even more or less. And he may not outright say what he's going to do, but he will hint, and that will affect the market, okay? So if he says nothing much and it's just one of them dumb speeches they give where they just fluffing and blowing smoke up people's behind, well, we're considering and we're thinking about this and that. Anything that leans towards the interest rates being raised, you're going to see the dollar being affected. So just be aware that he's talking, and you need to pay attention on the US dollar when he's talking, because his speech affects the dollar and the market. It also affects gold. For those who like trading gold, gold is highly influenced by the stock market and by this dude's speech. So when he's talking, if you like to be, because I do have students and my son who love to trade gold, if gold is something you love trading, you need to be paying attention and be very careful when you're trading around that Thursday announcement when he starts running his mouth. Okay. Now, the last one, on the 7th, what day? I know it's on the 7th, but what day is that? What day is the 7th, you guys? Is that Wednesday or Thursday? What day is that, the 7th? Let me know. All right, here's the last most important thing. Tomorrow in the US, because I know we have somebody who's from Singapore and other countries who are here. Wednesday. Okay, thank you. Super Black, thank you. Super Black, he said it's on Wednesday. So CAD news is coming out on Wednesday. Okay, cool. Last but not least, and this is very important, especially if you're in the US, it's very important. Tomorrow is a federal holiday here in the US. So if you're trading the dollar or some of the other currency pairs like AUD, USD, JPY, GBP, USD, anything that's attached to the dollar, the banks and institutions as a whole will probably be closed. So there may be some movement, but it'll probably be more from the retail traders, not from the banks and institutions. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So if it acts a little sporadic tomorrow, and you see some spike, and don't believe it's the banks and institutions, because technically tomorrow is a federal holiday and banks and institutions are closed. Okay, that's the reason why I'm taking my wife to a private island tomorrow. We're going to hang out at a private island and just go chill. Why? Because the markets for the US dollar is going to be closed, and that's a huge amount of volume of trading. So I don't expect a whole lot of jumping around and big movements on tomorrow. If I see it set up, I'll take it before I leave. But, as far as big movement, I don't expect it. So take a chill pill, relax. Yes, correct, Mark. Mark was saying that once the London market closes, then the the U.S. market pretty much goes dead. And I've been telling people that for the longest. So thank you, Mark, for reaffirming what I've been saying. So yes, there's no activity, much activity from the U.S. because the dollar, the market, the banks for the U.S. dollar is going to be closed. So therefore, why waste your time? Why am I sharing this with you? I'll close with this. For some of you guys, you're addicted to trading. I want you to hear me real good. I'm going to close with this lesson. If you hear me, I'm going to bless your soul. Somebody said it's a holiday in Canada too. Okay. All right. So it said you're doing zip lining, huh? Some Zippo. All right, cool. Here's the deal. Let me share this with you guys. Some of you guys are dealing with what I call market addiction. Write this term down. Market addiction. Okay. Market addiction. Market addiction means that you're addicted to trading. You don't know when to stop. You could have won a beautiful trade, but you just don't know when to stop. You're addicted to trading. You just have to be in trade. You don't know how to take a break. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what's crashing your trading accounts because you don't know when to stop. You don't know when to take a break. And I'm constantly teaching my students around what times to start looking at the charts, because the more times you go around the most profitable times to look at the charts, that means that reduces the number of times you need to be looking at it per day. Some of you guys are looking at the charts all day long. In fact, I would believe if you were like I used to be, some of you guys been looking at the charts all weekend. You've been marking up your charts all weekend long. You've been sitting on your charts all weekend long. You could have been outside enjoying the weather or enjoying your family or just enjoying the personal time, but you're addicted to the charts. So you're always on the charts. You never take a break from the charts. And then when the market opens, you just don't know when to stop trading. And part of these news events is to tell you when to stop trading, when to take a break from trading, when to release trading from your daily routine. Tomorrow, I don't expect a whole lot from the markets. I'm certainly not looking forward to entering into any major trades unless I see something really juicy. I'm not worried about trading on Sundays. So it's important to know when to look for setups, but it's just as important to know when to leave it alone. The market is not willing to pay you all the time, 24/7. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. It does not pay out 24/7. It will do some setups and knock out as many people as possible and then turn around and give setups afterwards. So during that knockout time, you need to just knock the charts off. It's just not a good environment. It's not the right time. So I'm telling you these news events so you'll know just not what news events are coming up, but what pairs not to trade, what days not to trade. So if you know tomorrow is a holiday, a big federal holiday, and the U.S. market is second to the largest market compared to the London market. The London market, according to my knowledge, is the largest market in the world. Okay. Second to that, it will be the U.S. market. So if the second largest market in the world is no longer available after the London market closes, what are you really doing there? Now, again, if you see a good setup, okay, I'm not telling you not to take it. But what I'm saying is, don't, like me, I'm going to be on the island. I'm chilling. I don't care. I'm sitting in some swing trades, which will play out for about a week, but other than that, I'm not really worried about the markets. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Now, I'll be back on time for my Tuesday class to teach my students, but for tomorrow, it's going to be me and my wife. See, I don't want to miss moments with the people who are significant in my life because of these freaking charts. So let me give you one more example. I told some of you guys that my son, he's in his late 20s. He's already retired himself. I taught him how to trade. He's doing fine. And some of you guys met him and talked with him in my live class because I brought him in a couple of times. I brought my daughter in and I brought PJ in. Matter of fact, the D15 and the D1 strategy, that was the strategy my son came up with. And we've been teaching it ever since in the group, right? So we had a conversation yesterday and he was talking about, hey, I'm working on, me and my wife, we working together on some this and that. And there's something that came up that she wants to do, but I was telling her, let's hold off on this and that and blah, blah, blah. And because I'm building a bigger future for us. And I was like, no, son, that's a mistake. I said, that's a mistake. I said, you and I are just alike in so many ways. We're thinking ahead, we're entrepreneurs, we're planners, we're always trying to think big. But I said, as your dad, you're becoming me, but I have several years ahead. So when you're looking at me, you're looking at yourself several years in advance. And I said, if I had to go back and tell my younger me a key piece of information, don't miss the precious moments that the market can never buy you again. Don't miss the precious moments that no matter how much God blesses you on this earth with prosperity and success, there are certain moments that you can never get back again. No matter how much money you have, you can't purchase those moments again. And those are the precious moments that you have where you can have some downtime to spend with your significant others, with yourself, with God, or whatever, but just stepping away from the hustle. I said, certain moments you just can't buy. I'm ahead of him. He's following my footsteps very, very well, and I'm very proud of him. But I don't want him skipping over chasing the bag and missing the moment. Type amen if you understand what I'm saying. Don't miss precious moments in your life. Tomorrow is a federal holiday. The markets are going to always constantly keep in rotation. They'll be there on Monday evening. They'll be there on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, any other day. Take a break and spend some time with yourself. Give yourself a break from the charts. Give yourself a break. Trading is one of the easiest and hardest jobs on the planet. It's easy to place a trade. Matter of fact, one of my students came to class, what was that, last week or week before last? And she said, hey, I'm a brand new student. She said, I've been studying. I'm ready to go. I know everything except for one thing. I said, what is that? She said, I don't know how to place a trade. And live in class, we took the time and I showed her how easy. I said, you can place a trade in 30 seconds. But see, the stress comes in with, okay, did my analysis come out right? Did I mark up my charts right? Did I do this? All that stress comes in from that stuff. And when the execution is only taking 30 seconds. So doing this over and over again, going through the stress of trying to predict the future, trying to be a Nostradamus, all this builds up stress because you're dealing with your real money. And over time, you literally need a break from this stuff so you can smell the flowers while they're still growing. So you can enjoy the moments with the significant others to whom you say you're doing this for. But now they're feeling left out and neglected. And by the time you hit success, you're going to find you're going to lose the people who you said you were doing it for. That you spent so much time married to the charts until now you lost your marriage. Are you hearing what this is very real. This is very real. I promise you, they don't want to talk about this when they talk about the financial markets. They teach you everything except for the truth about what happens after you become successful. And I'm not trying to lose everything. The very one who I did it for, now she don't want to be bothered with me because I've always had my door shut to her because I was married to these charts. Some of you guys, you're driving yourself crazy over these charts. You're stressed out over these charts. When in essence, if you would have just took a chill pill, relaxed from the charts, came back during the time when the markets are calm and so are you will find you will be far more profitable. And one of the best ways to be far more profitable is to take far less trades. The best way to take far less trades is to spend far less time on the charts. Isn't that amazing? If you ever look at some of the most successful people in this industry, you'll see that they don't take that many trades a week. And yet they're very profitable. You want to have their lifestyle, but you're not doing what they're doing. And that big thing is they wait patiently for good setups and then they just leave things alone. You're beating your head against the wall trying to trade all the time. You're jumping from trying to be a day trader from a scalper. You're jumping from scalp strategy to scalp strategy. But why? Because you just got to be in a trade. And when the strategy that you have says, this is not it, and you have to wait, guess what you do? Instead of waiting, what do? You jump to a different strategy that's going to force you into a trade because you just got to be in the trade. And you're exhausted. You're exhausted. This market has exhausted you. And if I can't bless you no more than this, if you never watch another one of my videos, if you say to hell with Uncle P, he's a scammer, he's a this and that, God bless you anyway, no matter what you say about me. But the one thing I know is don't duplicate the mistake I did. Because I told many of my students, I'm very transparent. I will tell you the truth. I told you guys for the first several years of my marriage to that woman, she had all the rights to leave me. Because for the first number of years, I was an absentee husband. I didn't spend quality time with her because I was so busy on these charts. That's part of the reason why I like the signal service, because I can take a break. I don't have to be on the charts all the time. I can let somebody else do the work. I outsource it to them and let them do it. That's part of the reason why. It's not that I don't know how, I don't want to. I'm tired. I miss so many precious moments because of the charts. So for those who keep hearing me talk about, oh yeah, he always talking about he going on a date with Nancy. Well, yes, she deserves my time and attention because she gave willingly of her heart and time that was rightfully hers and still stuck in the marriage with me during those times when I was building the business, building this and building that. And she did not hassle me over it. She patiently endured my absenteeism. Now the reward is she has fully everything that belongs to me. Everything. I just bought this house for her. She got a car that she wanted sitting in the garage. Anything happened to me, she got all the cars and the motorcycles. She got access to all the checking accounts, all the savings accounts. She has access to everything because she earned it. So for me to take her tomorrow to a private island, that's just why she deserves it. I'm honoring her because she was honorable when I was an absentee husband because of these freaking charts. And I told many of my students, I'm very honest, if it wasn't for me teaching the classes, keeping me excited, I probably wouldn't even be doing this. I'm so burnt out on it. But the classes keep me excited because I love teaching new students. So that keeps me enthused. Doing these Sunday videos to help you, it keeps me enthused in the game. Other than that, the game itself is boring to me. I don't even care about it. It has fried me because I spent so many years and time and just sleeping, eating, and breathing charts like some of you guys are doing. And you think that's the best way to go about it. It is not. The wisdom is knowing when to get in and when to leave it alone. As I teach my students, and I'll close with this, as I teach my students, one of my things I'm constantly trying to work on is not the perfection of the setup, but the perfection of what is the best time. Because if I can get that down pat, the best times to trade, then that means I can only check in maybe twice a day to look for chart setups, and now I have the rest of my day to myself. Right now I'm down to 4 times a day. I want to get that down to 2 times a day. And then I reduce it to only 2 times I need to be looking at this machine. And the rest of the day, I can be out doing something else, creating something else, being an influencer in our society, helping people who's homeless, starting other programs, working on other ventures. That is actually freedom. Let me say why. Some of you guys, you don't even know what's going on. You thinking that the Forex market is going to be your financial, and I said this before in a previous video about a couple of weeks ago. Some of you guys think that the Forex market is going to be your financial savior, and it can be. But the problem is it can save you financially, but it can imprison you mentally. Write this down. You're not going to ever hear this somewhere else. Right. It can save you financially, but imprison you mentally. Because now it has trapped you in a world where you can't get out because you're always thinking about these charts. You're always sleeping with these charts in mind. You're going to work with these charts in mind. You got the MT4 on your phone all the time or the trading view. It has imprisoned you. So the very thing you were looking to save you, to give you that time and freedom, has just stolen your life away, and you didn't even see it coming because it's so addictive, like a drug, until you've drawn yourself into it and it has latched itself onto you because it promises the financial freedom. But what it doesn't tell you is the fact that you're going to be addicted to me just like you would be to cocaine. This is some truth that you'll never hear. I'm going to make you so addicted to me. Yeah, I'll give you a little reward, but I'm going to steal your life. I'm going to make you so addicted to staring at me and trying to analyze me and trying to figure me out. I'm going to be the hardest puzzle you have ever tried to solve. And in your quest to solve me, I'm going to take time away from you, and you're going to lose everything else, even if you win in my game. I'm going to take everything from you. It's going to cost you everything playing with me. That's what the market says. And you don't even see it. You don't even see it. So yes, when this video is over, I don't even want to talk about a chart. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about setups. I don't want to talk about, well, what do you think this pair is going to do this week? I don't care. For the next 24 hours, it's just me and Nancy. Now, we do respond to emails to help customers on board and get set up, and we'll do all that. But to ask me about a chart setup, hey, what do you think the USD JPY going to do this week? I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to analyze nothing. I'm done. I'm tired. Now, when the market fully opens back up, cool. And on Tuesday, during class, we can talk charts all day long. But tomorrow and today, for the rest of the day, it's just me and Nancy. Because I don't let this steal my life no more like I used to. I did that for years. And some of you guys are making my same mistake. I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes' sermon this morning, and he talked about what a leader goes through. And I found it very heartbreaking but eye-opening. He said the leader, their job is to take all the hits so that they can lead the other people around the hits that normally they would have incurred if it wasn't for you. You being a leader, take the hits. But your job as a leader is to come out of those hits and come back and lead the people in the right way to go. So for those who are tuning in and watching my videos faithfully every Sunday, I'm just simply trying to lead you in the right way to go. Now, whether you go or not, that's totally up to you. But I'm telling you, just like I told my son, I'm several years ahead of you, and you're becoming me. So let me help you so that you don't go through the mistakes that happened to me or the heartache that happened to me. I've already done it. Just listen to me as I try to be your tour guide through this situation. See, people look at what I have, but they don't know what I went through to get it. It was very costly. And for some of you new traders who's trying to learn how to trade, it's costing you. And I'm here trying to lead you in the right direction. The more you stay off these charts, the better off you're going to actually be. You're going to make far less trades, far more profits, because you're only looking for the best setups at the right time. You have taken 20 and 30, think about it. You've taken 20 or 30 trades last week. Were you profitable at the end of the week or exhausted? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Take a break tomorrow. Let the markets finish rattling off. Let them set up. Let them be at peace. Then you come and look at C. But take a break. Tomorrow's Labor Day here in the U.S. Take a break. Come back on Tuesday when the market is settled. You'll probably find some very good setups, and you'll be thanking God. I'll leave you guys with this one more. And for those who are my students, you were in class when this happened. One of the students in my class, he was looking at a trade on the Euro US 30 live in class, and he was saying, hey, but I think this one looks like, I say, hold on. I said, you might want to wait. I think it's going to come down to this level. I said, and then you wait to see if it hits this level and still remains, then and only then should you be taking that trade. And literally, while we were in class, that pair dropped, hit the level we talked about, and was not able to sustain. Why? Because while we were in class, some news event came out that affected the US 30. And it dropped and broke through the level, came back the next day, and then when it settled, it shot right back. But see, he was about to jump into that trade. But because I told him, no, you need to what? Wait. I ended up saving him God knows how much money he was going to put on that trade. I don't know. I don't ask people their private business, but I saved him some money. He was live in class and he said, thank you, Uncle P. I said, see, this is what I mean, man. Just wait. Don't be in a rush to trade. Just wait. Because your waiting will also be profitable because the money you was about to get back to the market don't get. Why? Because you didn't place that trade. You knew when to stop and wait. So not trading is just as vital as knowing when. I hope this video was a blessing to you. If you're new to my channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you tune in every Sunday. I'm always trying to put on some good quality videos to help you guys. I'm always trying to teach. This is who I am. This is what I do. If you need coaching, that's fine. Just click on the website, superezforex.com. Click on and join the Simplicity System. That's the only one. We sell different systems, but that's the only one going to come with free live classes every week with me and Miss Jenny. It doesn't cost you any extra, and we will be there in live Zoom classes to coach you, guide you, and help you out. And you'll be able to talk directly with me, and I'll be able to answer questions. We'll break down charts, go over setups during that time. But a good coach will tell you what you need not to do as well. And a lot of these gurus, they ain't saying nothing about this. They know it, but they ain't saying nothing about it because it don't sound good. It don't make sales to tell people when not to do something. Well, if I do that, I'm not doing a good job. Okay, so anyway, time for me to go on my date with my wife. I hope this video was helpful. Please share it with other traders that you know. That if you're in a trading group, share the video. They don't have to be part of our system, but at least the information was legit. So go ahead and share it with them so that you guys can, start structuring your ideas and conversations around this and coming up with a good trading plan before the market opens based off of the information I'm sharing with you guys, okay? Hey, what's up, D? Derek? All right, thank you, Mark, and everybody else who was tuned in. And I know somebody said they was from Panama, Singapore was on, and I don't know what other countries, and then thousands of people watch us later. So for all of you guys, I love you guys dearly. Have a good trading week. Bye.